Yeah, absolutely, and that was just, he lost a lot of forces doing absolutely nothing right there, and now Seed's going to push right into the
there's his stasis.
Stork gets a stasis off a couple of the tanks. He does not have...
Looks like EMP went off on the Arbiter, though.
Oh, EMP on the Arbiter, and yeah, Stork's micro in his position is really just letting him down, I feel. I think he had a big enough force to try and engage C, but maybe it was the lack of Storm. He didn't have the Storms to go and try and take out some of those tanks, and just the beautiful, textbook push from C on this map, and Stork just seems to be floundering here. I have to say, he just seems to be floundering in the mid-game. He has such a huge economy. He has such huge macro. He's getting a...
Wow, he expanded again. Yeah, that's been scouted now.
Lower right. He has huge macro. He has tons of gateways, tons of economy. He should be able to handle this, but his management of his troops is really just letting him down, I feel. I have no idea what he was doing there in the middle of that map, and now it looks like he's most likely going to lose. There's 3 siege tanks there just on that ledge, just shelling his gateways, and Stork's got the production, but I don't think he has the wherewithal to really attack this force. And 5 is the high Templars he's going to need, but I think it's probably too late.
Yeah, I mean, they don't come out ready to storm or anything, and he's just camped there, sieged up on his main here. This is not pretty at all.
Yeah, I have to say, this is a very disappointing display from Stork, because he definitely had an economic lead there, and he had a comparable armies to seize, and I think he really just mismanaged it. He really just threw away too much of his army. Maybe he wasn't wanting to commit to a push, and not wanting to commit to a push, he just lost too many troops to be able to really affect any kind of damage when he did finally push in, and C is just punishing him for it. He is not letting up here. He's taking down this expansion in the lower right, and the Dragoons of Stork are coming down to clean that out, but that's not really that important. I mean, what's important is the fact that his natural and his main, okay, his natural's been taken out now, and C is actually floating the command center there to take Stork's previous 9 o'clock expansion. Stork's main is being shelled, his second natural is being shelled, he's losing tech buildings, he's losing supply, and his army is down there trying to protect his 6th expansion against a pithy force of vultures from C. I have to say, I'm pretty disappointed by Stork's play in this game.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm not sure why his army is on the opposite side of the map where all the action is. I mean, even if it takes recalling back to your base, it seems like you'd be doing something better than attacking the 6 vultures that are attacking the bottom right-hand corner. It's going to go down anyway. It's not like, I mean, even if you take out those 6 vultures and your base is up, he's just going to send 6 more vultures. I mean, they're basically free at this point in the game.
Absolutely, the vultures are very cost-effective, and sure, he took out that force, but he didn't manage to defend his expansion. And oh, there goes some sort of tech build. I didn't see what went down there actually. I don't know if I was too slow. If the observer.
I think that was the second forge.
Oh, the second forge. Yeah, I mean, I just think, okay, there's another big battle coming up because there's a good stasis, getting a lot of tanks. Oh, but there are
got both the science vessels.
There's some storms. This is what he needed, like, hours ago. There's some storms, and it looks like actually Stork is going to manage to break in here into one of C's expansions here in the bottom of the map, and that might be able to get him back in this game because he's already lost so much in his main. It's a good counterattack, but this is the sort of attack that he needed back while he still had bases and tech buildings.
Yeah, I mean, his production's in his shambles now. I don't even know if he can produce more. I mean, like, he has the, what do you call it? He can build them, but I don't think he's allowed to.
The economy. I want to have a supply. Okay, and here comes the battle over the stasis units. This is actually a pretty important battle, and it looks like Stork may win, although C is reinforced with a bunch
There's another EMP, though.
Tanks. Yeah, those units come unstationed.
EMP's real bad news for those Archon.
Oh, yeah, that was a great EMP, and it looks like C is going to manage to actually save his units that were stationed there. And look at Stork's main. Oh, look at that. He can't defend it. And I really think this game is just a textbook example of what happens when you're indecisive in the mid game. You're indecisive and you can't commit to a strategy, because he didn't commit to the counterattack, he didn't commit to defense, he didn't commit to battle in the middle. He just kind of wanted his troops around, and he's really paying the price for it here, because C knew he was going on the offensive. C, I think, was willing to trade. That if Stork was going to bring his whole army back to one of C's expansions and try and go blow for blow, I think C was okay with that, and I think he should have been okay with that. But Stork, I mean, I really think he probably just threw this game away. I don't really see how he gets back in it.
Yeah, and I think earlier in the game where we talked about, being unharassed, by that same token, I mean, once that first siege tank came out for C, he was basically unharassed after that, and I think it's just as bad to leave the Terran alone Because, I mean, instead of going for that 5th expansion and 6th expansion and all these expansions, I mean, at any point there, he could have just, you know, amassed an army and pushed in then. Like, don't let C set up and be ready for you. And this is what happens when you do.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think he really could have pushed in against C because the Terran is so easy to fit in. There's some Dark Templar taking out some vultures there, you know, who cares? Pylon trying to power up those 2 pathetic gateways. But the thing about it is if you look at the way the bases are set up in this map, it is so hard for the Protoss to push in. I actually think that that Stork did the right thing going for those expansions, knowing that C was going to turtle into those 3 bases, and, you know, macro up and be ready to push out, because he couldn't really push in. Those C tanks on the ledge are just going to rip him to shreds. Where I think his game sense let him down is just that mid-game push. He needed to stomp on that push as C was leaving his base. He needed to have Templars out. He needed to have more shuttles with more zealots. He needed to have more zealots in place to engage those vultures or get amongst the siege tanks, hopefully to get amongst the siege tanks rather, you know, before he could get the vultures out in support, and he just wasn't. I think he didn't think he had enough to go in, and I mean, you know, even if he had gone in and lost a lot of his army, if he had taken down, you know, part of C's army, they would have slowed him down and been able to, you know, actually transfer that economic advantage into a huge force. Now here comes counterattack. This is probably Stork's last gasp of this game. He still has some production, he still has some economy, but he just doesn't have the same economy production that C has. And here comes this attack on the 9 o'clock base, and it looks like he is going to take down the command center. So Stork still has some fight left in this game. I mean, he hasn't actually played a bad game. I mean, tactically speaking, I think he played very well. I think he did the right thing going for those expansions. And he's made some, you know, decent attacks here, you know, but I think it's just inevitable at this point. I think it's too late.
Yeah, and we also see C taking over more expansions now. Like, they've fought back and forth over the 9 o'clock, and now C's taking over. Was that like 5 o'clock down there in the bottom right-hand corner now?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
this is just.
C loses that base, but it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's arbiters. Oh, I hate seeing that arbiters just going down to glass for no reason. And yeah, here's C trying to push in to Stork's upper right-hand expansion, which is really all the mine he has left. And actually, Stork doing a good job getting those vultures all over those tanks. Tons of tanks going down, and a great storm there over those tanks in the glass. Oh, pardon me, excuse me. But he's going to fight that off. But if you look at it, Stork, I believe, has, I think, 2 mining bases right now. And C probably mined out in his main and his natural. But then C probably has another 3 mining bases, and he recently had 4 until, of course, you know, the 9 o'clock got taken down. And really, I mean, Stork doesn't have the tech buildings. I'm sure he's rebuilt most of them in the upper right. He doesn't have the same production he would have. And, you know, sure, Stork's taking down an expansion. There's a Stork fan right there. Oh, don't cry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Stork fan. It's all right. And, you know, he just doesn't have the production to keep up. I mean, he did a great thing, like I was talking about earlier in the game. He was being smart by putting those gateways there, but those aren't gateways that you really want to have to use for your main production. I think Stork definitely has some fight left in him at this point. You know, he does have production. He is down, but he's down 2 bases to 3. That's really not where you want to be. And he's a ton of vultures. Those vultures are going to get copied